After Enemy, we go to Sicario in 2015, which I think I like more than most people. So this is where you have an idealistic FBI agent enlisted by a government task force to aid in the escalating war against drugs at the border area between the U.S. and Mexico. So you have Emily Blunt, Benicio del Toro, Josh Brolin, Daniel Kaluuya, all-time kind of cast trivia question there. He's hard to remember that he's in this one. And then you kind of got a perfect storm with written by Taylor Sheridan, cinematography by Roger Deakins. I think
more than most. George and I both have this at a 5. You're at 4.5. Clown.
Well, sorry.
Come on.
Well, I think in most people's Denis rankings, and which might even be true for you, which we'll see, that it doesn't really come close to the top for most people. But Sicario, just the scenes, specifically the border crossing scene, just heart stopping every single time. Just hold that breath, similar to like the Argo, getting a plane ticket scene. But that scene's incredible. You get some just brutal scenes between, I guess another one, what's his name? He's in like everything. He plays the Punisher.
John Bernthal.
John Bernthal,
all-time character actor.
Yeah, John Bernthal. That scene with him and Emily Blunt, incredible. Like, so just holding your breath the entire time. Then when they're going in the final tunnels, like Roger Deakins just really cooked with the cinematography to make it so you're just holding your breath for most of this movie. And it's just, we've seen films like this before where it shows, the corruption of police agencies, armed forces, and how once you kind of join them, you either, succumb to that and join the dark side, or you kind of rage against it. And Emily Blunt struggles trying to rage against it the entire time. And you get to the final scene, obviously, but I'll save some more for other people to unpack. So I'm going to start this one with George.
Oh, I love starting. I love this movie so much. This is, I don't know. It's so easy to like look at Denis' career and be like, yeah, he's got it. Like he's got the sauce, but like then you like really truly like deep dive like we're doing right now and like go into like each film and just how different everything is. And you're like, yeah, this man is just so capable of doing whatever he wants. Sicario.
I have to listen to more of your glaze.
I'm glazing. George. I'm going to spend the next hour glazing.
Dude,
this
man. We must do like a Bergman or something. I swear to God.
We're going to name this episode The Glazing of Denis Villeneuve. I'm glazing this man endlessly right now. But this is just, it's one of the most thrilling and tense experiences I have ever had the pleasure of witnessing. One thing about this movie that I think, I don't think it gets overlooked, but when you're looking at a movie with so many positives, it could get overlooked. Benicio del Toro puts on one of the best performances, I think, of the last decade. He is so reserved, but he's so chilling and he's so vengeful, and it's just such an impactful performance. And then obviously Emily Blunt and Josh Brolin are just mesmerizing. Roger Deakins doing his thing. It's I don't even know how to describe it. It's like an Oppenheimer. It's all the railways coming together to create just this masterful project. And I think this is just Denis. Absolutely. Obviously, he popped out of his shell, I think, with Incendie, and then with Prisoners and Enemy, he kind of just expanded on what he's capable of. And then Sicario kind of took us to this, I don't want to say next level, because I do think, spoiler alert for my ranking, I do think Prisoners is a better movie than Sicario, but I think Sicario is where he kind of showed us that, like, yeah, he's capable of these very, one, high-octane set pieces, two, conceptually bold narratives. I think he kind of branched off into showing us that, I don't know if I would consider this a blockbuster the way we would consider like Dune or Blade Runner 2049 a blockbuster, but this is where I think he kind of convinced people, yeah, I'm going to put you in movie theater seats and you're going to want to come and watch my fucking movie because I am the greatest filmmaker of all time. Stanley Midbrick's got nothing on me.
The Sicario world has a chance to be one of the weirdest worlds ever, because we had a sequel, obviously, that had nothing to do with it. The only similar link is like Benicio del Toro, and I think Josh Brolin is back too, but the production side of things completely different. And
not really. It's still written by Taylor Sheridan.
Oh, is that? Well, Denis gone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's written and directed this time by Taylor Sheridan. Yeah. And it's his miss.
Yeah, definitely a miss. It's just thematically so different. But now Sicario 3 might be a thing that's rumored, and Denis would come back for that. So it's the weirdest trilogy of all time.
They're doing Sicario 3? That's not confirmed, is it?
No, it's not confirmed, but he said he would be interested in coming back for it potentially.
Oh, I don't want him to do that.
Cam, you probably know this. What do people call Taylor Sheridan's like unofficial trilogy? like Wind River,
Hell of High Water.
Yeah, I don't know, the Taylor trilogy. They definitely call it something. Heller High Sicario River.
Wow. Okay, that is catchy.
That's what they call it, actually. Yeah, the Heller High Sicario River trilogy.
It's surprising it hasn't caught on more with that.
The best trilogy of all time is what it should be called. Then.
Okay, let's calm down.
They're all 5s for me. I'll be honest. They're fucking bangers.
You can't include Sicario. It's his written trilogy, I guess. I feel like
they're all written by him. No,
I know, but Sicario 2 should have to be in that because it's directed by him too.
No, Wind River's not directed. No, Wind River is directed by him, but Hell or High Water is in.
Okay.
So I was counting just his start of just writing, because now he's
obsessed with Yellowstone.
Yeah, well, that shit just like takes off in boomer country.
Yeah. There's 7 million spinoffs.
He directed one a couple years ago. Which I didn't love with
the one with
Angelina Jolie. Yeah, the fire one. That's like the fires.
Those who wish me dead.
Yeah, those who wish me dead. Had potential, but he's much better writer than he is director. Even though I think Wind River is fantastic, but not we could do a Taylor Sheridan episode that I would ride.
Seth, your thoughts on Sicario?
Yeah, it's a shame Taylor Sheridan can't write dialogue. That's
absurd. Like that's actually such a take. Because he's like one of the best writers of this generation.
That's crazy. Okay,
that's such a bad take.
Can't end scenes of dialogue. Can't close scenes.
Wind River has bad dialogue. M. Night Shyamalan.
There you go.
That is such.
He probably writes all of M. Night's movies with the dialogue. M. Night.
That's such a bad offer.
This is
disgusting. Like this is foul.
Despicable.
Can't write.
This is foul.
Although I haven't seen.
This is a Soup's Inside Out level take right there.
Yeah. Hell or High Water. Yeah.
Soup's just described the plot. At least I'm giving like a criticism validly. Come on.
I don't know.
No, I haven't seen Hell or High Water. I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen Sicario 2 either. I did see. Did you guys see that one he did with Michael B. Jordan? He wrote that. That was terrible.
Without remorse, terrible.
Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah, I think I did see that. That is really bad.
But yeah, no, I do like Sicario. I think.
Is that from?
Let me have a look. Yeah, I do like Sicario. I think it's like George said, high octane. I think that Denis is like that guy when it comes to creating just these suspenseful set pieces. I think that Emily Blunt is like the perfect lead female role for this as well. I think she works so well, along with John Bernthal, Daniel Kaluuya as well, and Benicio del Toro. Like George said, I think he's fantastic. He's a really, really great actor. Yeah, I think this is really, really great. I haven't seen it in a good probably over a year now. I probably should have rewatched this one, to be honest. But like I said, it's just a master of crafting suspense. I think it keeps you on the edge of your toes throughout completely. And it works on just so many levels, thematically, emotionally as well. Like it was either Cam or George said, just the scene with Emily Blunt and John Bernthal as well. It might have even been to you, Tyler. But yeah, I think it's a really, really good film. Don't love it by any means. I'm not going to spoil it, actually, whereabouts it is. But I do think it's really good, and I think it works on many levels, especially the final kind of 15 minutes where they're kind of running through the tunnels and whatever. I think that's some really fucking cool shots in that. Deakins and Villeneuve and Denis, it's a good combo. Although, is it as good of a combo as Denis and Mr. Fraser?
We should do like a draft or a rankings of our two, like our favorite, just like combos in general, because you could go like Nolan and Hans or Nolan and Ludwig, even though that's not really a combo. They just had one movie, but like
two.
No, two.
They got two.
Oh, Tenet, yeah. Ludwig Göransson's so fucking good.
We should do. Yeah, we should do that.
We should do like that sometimes.
Cinematographers and directors as well, because there's so many.
That's what I'm saying. Just any like two people together or something.
Yeah, because there's some fucking good combos.
Or like actor, director, like Liv Ullmann, Ingmar Bergman. Like, there's so many ways you could go with that.
What a take. Great take.
That's the one you pull of every actor, director.
I don't know. I think I saw like a.
That is an amazing one. To be fair, I did do like a lot of his best films together. To be fair.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to get on Seth's side of the screen for a second and help him out. But now. I know we just started with George for the last one, but we're going to go back with him for Arrival because I think it's like his favorite movie of all time, or one of them has to be up there. So,
is this your favorite? Would you consider this to be your favorite film, George?
I have it second behind The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah.
Man,
I will say
doesn't make the Nolan versus Villeneuve battle in your head any easier if those are your two favorites.
Yes.
My entire 10 favorite movies of all time list could be 5 Nolan, 5 Villeneuve, if we're being real. I've adored Arrival since fucking day one. Since I watched it, I remember watching it Unfortunately, never got to see it on the big screen. The first time I watched it, I was alone in my dorm room sophomore year. And I was just by myself, hysterically crying and absolutely just stunned at what I had just seen. And that's kind of where my like major love affair with Villeneuve kind of began. I think it's just one of the most heartbreaking narratives in science fiction that we've ever seen, but it's one of the most awe-inspiring things. It's so, it could be looked at as cautionary. It could be looked at as philosophical. I think you can kind of approach this film in multiple directions, and no matter how you view it, no matter which lens you kind of approach it, you're going to get something out of it. You're going to be able to join any discussion or dissection of this film, and then kind of add value to it. I think Denis leaves. It's weird because like I think he closes a lot of loose ends in this film very well. He wraps this film up as best as he can, but he also leaves so much room for interpretation, which I kind of love. You're not leaving this experience, this film, thinking like, damn, what the fuck did I just watch? Like, where do we go from here? You kind of have an understanding of where this story kind of goes. But again, he's also giving us ample opportunity to kind of discuss it and kind of everyone just to kind of apply their own interpretation on what they had just seen. This for me is like, this is science fiction perfection. I watch this movie every so often, and I think it's like the greatest movie I've ever watched. It hits me emotionally the same every single time. I am just so attracted to this very reserved science fiction storytelling. It's very, we've seen the aliens genre or whatever side of film done so many times. You know, The Day the Earth Stood Still. I don't know, but I'm basically trying to say we've seen the alien side of film done so many times, and I think this just takes such a very reserved approach, and I think that's what attracts me the most to it, where it's so impactful, but it's also giving you time to breathe. Amy Adams not being nominated for an Oscar for this movie is the biggest snub ever. I think it is just
ever?
Absolutely, dude, it is despicable that she was not nominated for this movie. It is so absurd. On Denis, this was actually, so Incendie, Prisoners, and Sicario, they all received Oscar nominations, but this was Denis' first directing nom. Fun fact. Yeah, I love Arrival. I could write a fucking 16-page dissertation on it if you guys asked me to.
Do it by next week, and you're gonna the whole episode's gonna be you reading it word for word.
Ready? Yeah.
Well, we bonded over. I also watched it for the first time in my apartment at the time, sophomore year of college. So shout out sophomore year of college.
Nice.
And I remember I watched it immediately, ran it back and would show my roommate, and they did not like it. So I was like, well, I was excited for nothing. So whatever. They were like, fucking talking alien symbols. What is this shit? I'm like,
dude, it's so good.
You are not the right cup of tea for me, I guess. But Seth, your thoughts on Arrival?
Yeah, I think this is fucking amazing. I think it's really, really amazing. I think it's a great.
Give it a 5 stars, you coward.
But George, you should be happy.
Sorry.
About? This is, you should be elated right now. I think it's
just
really.
Denny Denier.
Denier of what?
Just his greatness. His greatness. His
power.
Seth is going to have the exact same rating from us. It's just going to be like 1 star less on each movie. He's just a denier.
I gave Dune a 5-star.
All right, Dune's perfect.
If my Denis denier, I don't give Dune 5-star.
Dune's fucking awesome though. Dune's a different.
No, I think this is. So I haven't seen this. Well, I hadn't seen this in like, I want to say like COVID times, like lockdown times. So it's been a while. So I didn't have it rated. This is interesting because I think it's like a rewatch where it's like the opposite to Prisoners. I remember liking this, but I don't remember like loving it. I loved it today. I think it was really, really good. I think the most impressive thing about Arrival is whilst it's kind of big in scope, it's also really contained for a sci-fi. Like the sets are so limited. There's not really much here. But what is here is just like, it feels so kind of claustrophobic. Everything's kind of closing in on Amy Adams' character who has been through this kind of trauma. The way that they use time is so interesting, and I think it really is something that improves on multiple watches, or at least I guess anyway. It's really introspective, really refreshing take on the sci-fi genre. I do think Amy Adams is fantastic. I think the first Alien, I tweeted this a few hours ago, the first Alien reveal scene, so good.
So
I really wish
fantastic.
I'd have seen this on a big screen, like this sound.
This is always I get asked all the time, like if you could rewatch any film in IMAX. I don't know if I would pick Arrival. Let me make that clear, just because I think there are other films that will be better suited for IMAX than Arrival. But Arrival is always in contention.
Yeah, just because of like the sound work and stuff. So I think it's like really impressive to make a sci-fi that is this kind of contained, because there is obviously these kind of big illustrious shots when obviously they're driving towards at the start. But really, it's quite minimalistic for as far as sci-fi is concerned in its location. And I think it's pensive, it's chilling, but it's also really human and emotional and really sad, especially the ending as well, when you kind of put the pieces together and the puzzles together and learn what's happening, especially with the time and what Amy Adams' character's life, I can't remember what she's called, with Jeremy Renner, of course. It's really great, really great. I loved it. I was surprised by how much I liked it, to be honest. I won't go into any more because obviously I'll save for the rating. But yeah, fuck you, George. You should be happy with this shit, man. You should be really happy.
I am very happy.
I think when you give something a 5-star, you're not happy until someone else gives it a 5-star.
Yeah,
which is crazy. That's such high standards.
That's correct.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna say my rating. I guess I'm not as high as George, but this is so good, man. this stretch of movies so much better than anything fucking Stanley Kubrick ever did.
How many Kubrick films do you see, Kev?
I think I've seen the 4 that you talk about as his big stretch, right? So 2001,
probably
Shining, Barry Lyndon.
Oh, I haven't seen Barry Lyndon, and then Clockwork Orange.
So you've seen
I don't like Clockwork Orange as much as most. I think I've
seen
like
3 Kubrick films.
Yeah, probably. That's what I'm saying. His stretch that you talk about as like 4-film stretch.
I wouldn't pick that as a stretch, but yeah, continue.
I've seen you tweet that actually. Like I've seen the exact tweet of his 4 stretch.
You said no. You said 3-film stretch.
No, I said 4.
No,
I was
4.
saying
you haven't seen the 4.
I know. I'm saying,
bitch.
I'm saying I thought I had, but I forgot Barry Lyndon was in there.
I think
just being an ass. I love Arrival.
I do actually. To be fair, no, I do what you mean. I think this is a really. So it's Arrival, Blade. No.
So his stretch. Don't say like your order. His stretch is Sicario, Arrival, Blade Runner 2049, Dune Part 1. We'll talk about those like more during the rankings. But Arrival, just like heartbreaking, to be honest with you, and the ending kind of kills you. And you like it starts off. You think it's like, oh, you think in the past her daughter died and now she's just this sad like woman who's teaching language, and then like it's revealed. I mean, we're spoiling, right? We don't care. Yeah. And then it's revealed that like she's actually seeing the future, and that's what these aliens have taught her. And the question is like, yes, why are you here? But would you, if you knew your future, would you do that? And like that's just the most heartbreaking question ever, especially like knowing her daughter's gonna die. Like, would she go through the 8 years of love just for the like pain and sadness afterwards? And the answer for her obviously is yes. Would it be for everyone? I don't know. But just such an emotional and just painful, devastating ending for a movie that you think is going to be, badass, like science fiction aliens, when in reality, it's got a lot more heart and a lot more like commentary on like, hey, if 12 fucking aliens showed up, this is probably how the world would react, and it's a very Western viewpoint, maybe like other countries, like it very much depicts Russia and China as like going to bomb these fuckers, but would that happen? Maybe. Would it not? Who knows? But it's very much like this is what would happen if 12 countries had one alien ship. How would we all react? Would we communicate with each other correctly in order to solve the mystery? That sort of thing. But yeah, an incredibly like deep and intense just alien movie that most alien movies are, like Alien, which is a great action movie, or movie, aliens being more action, but this being more like deep and thought provoking. Just fantastic.
Yeah, honestly, Enemy has a lot of similar structure to Enemy in terms of its or Arrival and Enemy have very similar structure in terms of being almost circular. Like, you know, the end and the beginning all kind of clicks and comes together in a way. And it's just fascinating when you go through this filmography as we're doing, seeing where all these link, where Enemy and Arrival on the surface, you really wouldn't really connect those, you know, surface level. You know, one's a sci-fi, one's more a character study, which has sci-fi elements, but you know what I mean. They're very different movies when you watch them, but a lot of similar filmmaking structures, a lot of honestly similar thematically as well.